thoughts on the SBC race? And then you guys are Division III, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the last I saw on the RPI, we were sitting.
From the Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue Party Room, welcome to Inside the Paint, presented by Rockwater Campground on US 23 in Piketon, with special thanks to Brewster's Real Estate and Auction Services, Tim Dickerson, Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy, and Brandon Wooldridge Deep Woods Lumber. Ritchie's Inside the Paint is the weekly Pike County basketball coaches and players show featuring a different Pike County school each week. The Eastern Eagles, the Waverly Tigers, the Western Indians, and the Piketon Redstreaks are here in the spotlight for the next 60 minutes. And now live from the Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue Party Room, here are your hosts, T-Fred, Rockin' Raj, and the Madman, Mike Davis.
T-Fred and I are joined by Piketon Girls varsity head coach Jason Taylor. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. I'm glad you guys brought the team up, and they act like they're scared to death.
They are. We talked about it today, and they're like, what kind of questions are they going to ask me, Coach? I said, well, I think probably basketball related, but I wasn't sure.
I don't think there's any much else we can ask, but, I mean, who knows? Roger's in the crowd with them. So you guys are 7-8 overall.
Yes.
And coming off a 3-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your season so far.
Well, you graduate 4 seniors like we did last year that carried the load offensively, and then we return 1 starter and then 3 bench players mixed with a bunch of younger girls, especially some freshmen coming up. All you can hope for is a good group that they get along, they work well together, and that's what they've been. It's been tremendous watching the upperclassmen, let those girls figure out the roles that they can take over, and the upperclassmen just take whatever they can get there, and then they just come together. It's great.
Great. And, you had a couple injuries. I saw a couple girls on crutches. I know Addie Johnson went
April
out.
Johnson, yeah. She banged knees at Greenfield McLean, and almost, they said her ACL just exploded.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
And then Shelby Blanton, she was doing something and just said her hip popped, and now she's got an MRI scheduled. So senior and a junior, and it's
you always hate to hear that. So you guys are 5-4 in the SVC.
Yep.
So that puts you where in the standings?
We are 4th by ourselves after we beat Southeastern there. Now they dropped to 5.
Okay. And T-Fred, you got anything for him? I mean, you know these guys better than I do.
Well, I know the kids and I know Jason, but I haven't seen them play any at all. But hopefully, I know Hot Rod and Company, they're working on doing some girls' games.
We're spreading the word, trying to get sponsors,
Yeah, doing some girls' games. So hopefully we'll get to broadcast some games. But I know Jace does a good job, and Tom.
Re-elect Tracy D. Evans, Pike County Sheriff, as your Pike.
There we go.
That.
We're back.
That board just kind of does what it wants sometimes.
It does sometimes. But Jace, your thoughts on the SBC race, and then you guys are Division III, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the last I saw on the RPI, we were sitting 20th, but I think we might have moved up with that Southeastern win. Unioto is just head and shoulders.
Oh, they're tough. Yeah.
I mean, they're D2. They went I think, Classic in the country and Classic in the city and split against D1 Olentangy and somebody else. So they just got a lot of talent. Adina is very good. Adina just picked a bad year to be good when Unioto is very, very good.
Right.
Any other year, Adina probably brings home the trophy, but other than that, Huntington is very solid. They're well coached, and then you got us and Southeastern battling right there for 5th and 4th, and even like Zane Trace, I think, beat Paint Valley the other day. So even they are capable of beating you if you're not careful. So.
Well, let me ask you, how do you deal with? And I know, and we got the same thing up at Waverly right now. A bunch of freshmen playing, and you've got some freshmen playing, and you got to be careful with them because they're just not mature enough. I mean, they're mature. I don't mean that in a bad way. But basketball-wise, when you jump from junior high to varsity, that's a big leap. So how do you kind of guide these freshmen? Because sometimes I know they get down on themselves and they think, man, I don't know if I can play or not. And how do you keep that confidence level nice and high and just keep them going at the pace you're going?
The upperclassmen have done a great job of helping with that. Allie Taylor, Lainey Brown, Shelby Blanton, April Johnson, and Danny Ritchie have just made them welcome. And they understand that they are young. The older girls going to make mistakes. So when the young girls make mistakes, they just pick them back up and keep on moving. Just patience. It really is. I mean, now to have, raising a daughter, I kind of understand. So you kind of just got to be patient and just slow down. Just tell them to slow down and it'll be fine. So.
Well, and what's your next game, Jason?
Uniota's home Saturday, yes.
What do you know? What time?
It would be a 6 p.m. JV start.
6 p.m. JV start.
Yep.
And when your guys' season started a little bit before the boys' season, right?
Yes, we have 5 league games left and 2 non-league. So we're just
Okay,
about
so
ready
then-
for the draw.
Get the draw in the tournament. You said you guys are ranked a little bit better now than 20th.
We should be. I haven't checked today.
Okay, I don't know where to check that. So
OHSAA.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the boys basketball side or the girls basketball, you can get the RPI ranking. So
Now, do you like that system or not? This is really the kind of the first year.
see how it goes. I mean, the coaches, I think sometimes we can manipulate, but other than that, no, it's not bad. We'll see. It's anything else, it's new. Just get used to it.
got to get used to it, and until they come up with something better and change it,
Oh,
right?
that's
No, they will.
They will, I'm sure. But so who do you? I mean, I know we're not trying to get the cart before the horse, but down the road tournament trail, who's going to be pretty good in your bracket?
Adina, Huntington, Eastern Brown, Peebles, and Portsmouth's probably the favorite. Portsmouth just beat Fairland,
I saw
who is
some-
returning regional champion. So Portsmouth is probably head and shoulders. You want to avoid it for as long as possible. Adina, again, that's just our league's pretty solid.
Yep.
You always have Peebles, Eastern Brown, North Adams. Get over there in the shack. That's about all I can think of. I think Alexander might be playing well right now, and one of the maybe one of the Megs teams is. I can't remember. It's hard to keep track of all of them because there's not a lot of coverage for girls. So
Right.
Well, hopefully, I'd like to change that at least for Piketon's sake.
that would be great.
It'd be nice if we get the end of this season, but I don't. Hopefully, that will work out. We've got to find someone to call it if it's not going to be me. But if we can, I'll do as many as I can. But all right. Well, any final thoughts before we let you go, Jason? Embarrass some of these girls.
It's just been a pleasure. Sometimes as you get older and you've been coaching for as long as I have, they ask how many more years. I said I'm having fun.
Yeah.
That's key.
And it is. It's. I don't show up thinking, what fire do I have to put out today? I show up, we coach, we have fun as a group, and then we go home.
Now, this is your third year coaching girls, or
Third
fourth?
full year.
Third full year.
I took over for Carino halfway through the season when my daughter was a freshman.
Now, you had an assistant last year.
Scott Chandler, yes.
Why is he not assisting you again?
He just said he had to contribute too much time to not shooting deer.
I gotcha.
Well, now,
And I hope he's listening.
yeah.
I hope he is too.
Now we do this every time. Is there a special? And you better be careful with this because you get in trouble. Is there a special shout out you want to holler at anybody on the radio listening in or tuning us in?
Well, I got to give a shout out to my wife, obviously.
Of course,
she's
yes,
tuning
good
in.
man.
And I told my mom, so that
Smart man.
2 great women in my life right there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good stuff.
All righty. Well, Jason, we're going to let you go. We appreciate you coming by.
These
And
girls look excited. They're ready to go.
they are. Their faces are buried in their phones. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back. We'll talk to Coach Tom Kelly and some of these girls here on
Sounds
100.1
good.
WXTQ. Thanks again, Jason.
Mhm.
Back in
So
2
now
now we're joined by assistant coach Tom Kelly. Tom has talked to us before.
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh!
What role do you play in the show this year?
Well, I'm on Man Jenkins.
What role do you play in the show?
I play Patrick Star.
What role do you play in the show?
I play Miss Puff, and I'm a sea anemone.
I play Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob the Musical. And how do you relate to your role?
My bones are very, they're on the edge of breaking. I'm very angry. I sleep a lot, roll the clip.
How do you relate to the role that you play in the show?
One of her lines is that she has a cappuccino, and as we know, I always have coffee.
I like money, and I'm mean to my relatives, but not to other people, most of the time.
He ain't the smartest, but he has his moments.
watching. Piketon Musical SpongeBob is coming March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Friday night at 2, Saturday 2 and 7, Sunday at 2. Hope to see you there.
Assistant coach Tom Kelly. Tom has talked to us before about the girls, so welcome back.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
So let's just, we talked to Coach Taylor. You guys are 7-8, 3-game winning streak. Let's hear about, what are your thoughts on the last 3 games especially, and going forward, and just everything?
Well, I think it's a testament to the girls' work and their effort and practice. It all starts there. We've taken a deeper stab at fundamental basketball, and I don't care at the end of the day when things get a little rocky or things get a little rough, you've got to be able to fall back on the fundamentals, and we've gone back to the basics of rebounding. We've gone back to passing, shooting, and seriously, we've not shot outside of 10 feet in the last 2 weeks. We've shot and focused on shooting inside the paint, and it has made huge dividends in our games.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's easy 2 points right there, right? I mean, work on it.
I know the new, if you want to call it the new style basketball, preaches the 3-point line, and I understand that, but I do think at the college level maybe you see it more because there is more specialized talent and training. High school level, you're never going to find me say there's not a short range game myself, just because I've seen it and how effective it can be. The game, there's no shot clock, so and now with and I'll say it this way, now with the new foul changing and the way they can control the game with fouls, and you go to double bonus, you're giving away points by not executing inside the paint.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that, and it's great to hear that you guys are doing that, because I've said the same thing about the post play. Nobody wants to play in the post. I mean, we've got guys even up at Waverly, a couple big guys that they want to play out on the perimeter too much, and you're more effective. The closer you are, you want a great shot, not a shot.
Right.
And you can shoot a 3 anytime you want, but when you can work the ball and get a higher percentage like you're just talking about, I mean, that's quality, and it will pay dividends. You're right about that.
Well, I even think, too, I mean, we believe in it. The paint touch is so important. Whether you shoot the 3, whether you don't shoot a 3, if you never have a post player or a big in the paint and it never touches their hands, you have nothing to go by. So I just think I think you just – I'm going to give the girls credit. Lainey Brown, we started the year, you could tell she wasn't that comfortable in the paint. And the last 3 games, she's had huge performances. I mean, she's averaging right at 10 rebounds a game right now anyway. But the last 2 games, she's finished with 9 and 8 points, and I think 8 the game before. And that has taken some of the pressure off of the other girls. And now teams have to start focusing and helping out in the paint now, which is freeing up our outside shots. And the girls have really taken a step in the right direction each game. And I'm not going to lie, I'll say this right now, there hasn't been much media attention on this team, and for that matter, Pike County and boys and girls, in my opinion, as far as newspaper and stuff, where it's been a lot of focus on Ross County schools. And we preached to them this week, you guys just keep doing what you're doing, stay behind the scenes, and we're going to get one of those teams. And guess what happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Southeastern came in here, and we played some outstanding defense.
Yeah.
And took a
well, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. But we took a Southeastern team, and a team that's got lots of experience, great record, and lo and behold, we step up and get the W.
Well, I saw a lot of social media talk about the game last night. So, I mean, yeah, it was just nothing but good things to say. And I'm hoping I'd like to get some for the end of this season if I can, if we can get the sponsors. But, we can definitely try to build for next year.
Sure.
and get as much coverage. And, the stuff that we're doing with Total Media now, I mean, look at all the cameras on us. We're on Main Street TV. We're on YouTube. We're on the radio. We're on the app. We're on all these different platforms. So we definitely want to bring some coverage, to on the girls' side as well, and not just for Piketon, but for all schools.
Right.
I'm with Piketon. Will be at least until after next year. But yeah, we definitely want to bring that coverage to you guys. So we're
Well-
trying our hardest. I really want to get it done. I'd love to call personally. Love to call a couple girls games. If I can make that happen by the end of the season, I will.
I appreciate you guys having us tonight. The one thing, I mean, the last couple of years I've been more around the girls' game, and it opened my eyes because of just the lack of attention. I'm telling you, girls basketball in Southeastern Ohio right now is on fire. It is some of the best basketball in the area. We have players in Southeastern Ohio that have great careers ahead of them if they continue to work. And I'm for all the kids. I don't boys and girls. Like I said, I've been both sides of it. I just want to see the kids enjoy some of the benefits that we got to enjoy back whenever we played.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have more social media, things like that now. Maybe not selling as many newspapers, things like that. But man, it was always fun to open a paper and maybe see a stat line or something like that. And the other thing, I was thinking about this the other day. We got less players coming out. Freshman teams aren't there.
Right.
JV teams are barely. Well, you know what? Maybe if we had a little bit more focus on that and reinvest in that type of thing. Everybody likes to see their positive name in the paper and things like that. And
yeah, I've kind of noticed that, on the boys' side too.
Yeah.
It's just not as many, and even from I kind of came on with Piketon, in Declan's 8th grade year, and that class has shrunk as far as players. So yeah, definitely want to get some more players out. I enjoy watching. I wasn't a basketball fan growing up, but I've really turned into one just following my son from biddy ball and all the travel stuff. It's a great sport, and I'd love to see more people play it. Get some more media opportunities out there, and not just be I don't want to say it like this, not be a football school, just football only. Not knocking the football program at all. I loved calling those games and love watching football, but yeah, definitely want to bring it to basketball and maybe even baseball too.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I got a question for you. You got a boy playing varsity basketball and a girl playing varsity basketball, and you're coaching your girl. I mean, how tough is it, Dad, to be a coach and a dad and going both places? And, it's got to be keeping you running, that's for sure.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't change it for anything. It is very difficult. Plus I'm working a full-time job as well.
Yeah, forgot about that.
And it takes first of all, it takes a great wife.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And it takes a lot of planning. My kids, we've done it a while, and they know it's not always the easiest being the coach's kid. The expectation is high, but I will tell you, I have great kids, and they support each other. They're both each other's biggest fans. There's no animosity in our house, but at the same time, too, it is every day. Every day. And even on days off, we're in the gym or we're shooting or doing something.
And from an outsider's perspective, you got some pretty good kids.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Like I said, we've been traveling around with you guys since 8th grade, so yeah, good family you got there. So.
It takes an army.
It does.
It does.
And I'm glad I got the army that I have.
Yeah.
Listen, this girls' team, I love them. They have all adapted well with each other. The boys' team, I've had all those kids since they were young. I've been around them too. We have some great kids and great parents, and sometimes we hear little things here and there, and kids are kids and so forth. But I'm telling you, it's nice to see these kids, just grow together, celebrate with each other, and just be kids.
Yeah.
'Cause this world, it goes fast.
Oh, it does.
And
it really does.
As a parent, I'm sitting here trying to enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah.
But I know in just a second I'm going to blink and it's over, and I want to take every chance I can. Timmy and I, we coached back in junior high a long time ago, back in the early 2000s and mid 2000s, and here we are still involved in the game.
Yeah.
It's part of my blood. I love it, and I will, as long as I'm able to, I will continue to give to the kids as much as I can. So.
All right. Well, that's assistant coach Tom Kelly. So T-Fred.
I'm Jacob Stanley, and I'm here with
Miss Kristen Campbell.
Miss Campbell. Can you tell us what it was like when you first started the FFA program?
Well, technically, I did not start it. Miss Hablitzel started it before I came. The program was in existence, I think, for about 3 years before I got here. And Miss Hablitzel started the chapter. She got the chapter registered and licensed so that we're an official chapter. And when I started in 2019, started fresh and new, didn't know a whole lot about what exactly I was doing, but quickly learned. And we had, the first year, I think we had about 19 students that were involved.
So, tell me about your guys' experiences since joining FFA.
Well, I've been in FFA for 2 years. This is my first year being an officer, and it's the first year of going up to national convention, and it was very fun. You get to meet more people from other states and just see what others do and how we can expand to make ours better for everybody else to get more involved.
So, do you think you guys are going to pick a agricultural career when you guys graduate?
I do have an ag business career chosen whenever I graduate, yes.
And what is that?
I'm going to have a ag business degree to fall back on and work at our local ag office for our county.
So, T-Fred, the moment has arrived. We're going to talk to this girls' team. So, Rock and Raj.
Okay, Rock and Raj is on the scene.
And look
hey,
at
look
them.
who I run into.
They're all
Piketon
embarrassed.
girls basketball team.
Woo, yeah.
Okay, I'll start with you. What's your name?
Danny.
Jenny.
Danny Ritchie.
Calm down, you'll be fine. What grade you in?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? Okay, how many years have you played basketball?
Well, last year was my first year since middle school, so.
Okay, do you play any other sports?
Softball, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you have one memory that sticks in your mind that if it was softball or basketball?
Well, my first day trying out for basketball, I ran into the bleachers full speed, and it was really embarrassing, and I still decided to show up, so.
So years from now, you're still going to think about that?
Yeah, for sure. Coach Jason will never let me forget, so.
Well, I know this guy, and he won't let you live it down.
Hi, from the Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue Party Room.
Part of my blood.
Nope.
Mom and Dad?
I mean,
Piketon girls basketball team.
Woo, yeah.
Okay, I'll start with you. What's your name?
Danny.
Jenny.
Danny Ritchie.
Calm down, you'll be fine. What grade you in?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? Okay, how many years have you played basketball?
Well, last year was my first year since middle school, so.
Okay, do you play any other sports?
Softball, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you have one memory that sticks in your mind that if it was softball or basketball?
Well, my first day trying out for basketball, I ran into the bleachers full speed, and it was really embarrassing, and I still decided to show up, so.
So years from now, you're still going to think about that?
Yeah, for sure. Coach Jason will never let me forget, so.
Well, I know this guy, and he won't let you live it down.
Never.
Do you have anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, coaches, of course.
I seen that look you give back.
How about
you don't have a
boyfriends,
boyfriend
Raj?
you want to give a shout out to?
Nope. Nope.
Mom and Dad?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, Mom and Dad, she just gave you a shout out. Thanks for talking to me. Okay, what's your name?
Allie Taylor.
And what grade you in?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior? How many years have you played basketball?
With the school since like 3rd grade, but I mean basketball's always been in my life since I was a baby, pretty much.
Do you play any other sports?
Yeah, I do. I did volleyball, and then I also do track, and I do competition dance.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked her. Do you have any memory that sticks in your mind from anything that you've done in sports?
Going to regionals for track is a big one, and then winning nationals for dance is a big one as well.
So what are you going to do when you graduate high school?
I'm thinking of going to Wright State University and majoring in psychology.
Good thing. Do you want to shout out to anybody?
My parents, definitely. My mom especially. I guess my dad, too.
You guess your
Yes,
dad?
your dad.
Yeah.
The coach is back there watching. You want to give him a shout out?
I know. Shout out to Coach Taylor and Coach Kelly.
Here we go. Hi, what's your name?
April Johnson,
And what grade you in?
junior,
You're a junior? How many years have you played basketball?
since 3rd grade.
Since 3rd grade? Do you play any other sports?
Volleyball.
Okay, like I asked these two ladies. What sticks in your mind the most, the biggest memory that you cannot forget about?
I say my best memory was my dad being my biddy ball coach for 3rd through 6th grade. I'd say that. He's definitely a big part on me.
Okay, do you want to shout out to anybody?
My parents, my coaches. That's about it.
That's about
No
it.
boyfriend?
Sure.
Wait, yeah, I think I know who the boyfriend is. I think he was on the show last week.
Mom and Dad, close your ears, and she's going to give him a shout out.
Jace White.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She was
Jace
in the
White.
room. She wouldn't come in last week when we were doing the show, Raj. That was who was out there when he said my girlfriend's over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it. What's your name?
Layla Kelly.
What grade you in?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman? How many years have you played basketball?
My whole life.
Your whole life? Anything stick out to you that you'll never forget?
Probably winning back-to-back championships. 7th and 8th grade year, we both won both those championships, and those were some tough battles that they put us through a lot, and it was a great memory, and the victory really meant a lot to us.
Okay, do you play any other sports?
I do golf and cross country.
How do you like golfing?
I love it. It's very mentally challenging, but I enjoy it.
Golfing has always been so boring to me.
It's fun to play. I don't like watching it as much, but when you're out there and if you care about it, then it's a lot of fun.
Hey, Raj.
Anybody you want to give us? Hold on.
We want to ask her one question. What's it like playing for her dad?
So what's it like playing for your dad?
I love playing for my dad. He's a really great coach,
Good
and he
answer.
pushes me to be the best that I can possibly be. And sometimes it's very tough, but I love it, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My dad for pushing me and making me the best player that I can possibly be, as well as Coach Taylor for all that he's done, and also my brother because he's been my biggest fan throughout all of this, and throughout all the attention and everything, he's just always there supporting me, and it means a lot.
So what's your next game?
Unioda Saturday.
Are you ready for him?
Yes, sir.
I hope so because the Piketon boys wasn't. What's your name?
Chanel Weisskopf.
Okay, this is the one that told me to skip her. So what grade you in?
9th,
How many years have you played basketball?
since 4th grade.
Do you play any other sports?
Softball.
Do you have any memory that sticks with you?
Yeah, when we did this Santa party for basketball, and I beat Layla Kelly in the Santa cow.
Okay. Anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, my mom for always being there for me, and my brothers.
Now, if you want to give a shout out to a boy, I'll tell your mom close her ears.
No.
Okay. Mike, you got a question for her?
No, I'm just keep,
Okay.
Yeah, you can move on.
What's your name?
Jalen Forbes,
What grade you in?
freshman.
A freshman? How many years have you played basketball?
Well, since 3rd grade, but there's like a little bit of travel ball in it, so a while.
Any other sports you played?
Softball.
Softball. So back to the question I gave these girls. Anything sticks in your mind that you will never forget?
Probably the first home run ball I hit out of the fence.
I bet you never slept at all that night.
Well, my mom didn't. My mom, she started crying when I hit it out.
Really?
I think she was more happy for me than I was, but
So your mom's never going to forget it.
no, I don't think so.
Okay, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My mom, my dad, and then the whole Piketon Village. They're always here for us when we need them and everything.
Great. What's your name?
Hayden Daniels.
What grade you in?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman? So how many years have you been playing basketball?
Since like 3rd grade.
3rd grade? Any other sports you played?
Yeah, I play volleyball and I ride horses.
Okay. Any memory sticks in your mind that you'll never forget about?
When we won the championship our 7th and 8th grade year in junior high.
So that's going to stick with you forever. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My mom and my dad, I mean, I couldn't get anywhere without them. And then our coaches, I mean, we wouldn't be here right now without them. And just the team, they're just big supporters, and you just form a lot of bonds with them and everything.
Okay, great. And what's your name?
Reeslyn Shanks.
What grade you in?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman? Got a lot of freshmen. So Jason's over there going, yeah. So how many years have you played basketball?
Since like 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Any other sports that you play?
Softball and volleyball.
Any memories that sticks in your mind in any other sports that you played?
Well, any other sport?
The sports that you play in.
Probably winning the back-to-back champions in 7th and 8th grade.
Okay, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My parents, probably my Papa Louie, and our coaches.
No boyfriends.
No boyfriend?
No.
That's right. Yeah.
Mom, she's not going to say. She knows you're listening. So we'll just move on to the next one. What's your name?
Lainey Brown.
What grade you in?
I'm a senior.
How many years have you played basketball?
Since 3rd grade.
What other sports do you play?
Softball and volleyball.
Okay, you got a memory that sticks with you that you can't forget about?
When I hit my first out-of-park home run.
Man, I bet you was pumped for that, wasn't you?
Yeah.
I remember I used to hit home runs. I loved it. Of course, I had to brag about it. So, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My parents, Poppy, and Coach Tom and Coach Taylor.
No boys? They're keeping a secret, Mike.
I know.
Oh. What are you going to do after you graduate?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. I'd lay around on the couch for a little bit, then I would decide.
That's what I did until my parents said, time to get a job and go down and work for your dad.
Okay, what's your name?
Maddie Hale,
What grade you in?
sophomore,
Sophomore? How many years have you played basketball?
since I can remember.
Do you play any other sports?
Volleyball.
Volleyball? Okay, is there a memory that sticks with you that I'll never forget that?
My 8th grade year when I hit the game-winning shot versus Adina.
That's cool. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
My mom, my dad, and my nana.
No boys? Okay, Mom. She's gonna skip that question. Okay, well, she's gonna say it.
Derek Lee.
Okay, did you hear that, madman?
I did. I'm sure her dad is probably listening, thinking,
Okay, we got one more, and I know her parents. So, what's your name?
Shelby Blanton.
And you are a senior?
Yes, I am a senior.
How many years have you played basketball?
Since 6th grade year.
Do you play any other sports?
I'm in cheer, powerlifting, and I used to do cross country and soccer and softball.
So, any memory that sticks in your mind, like, man, I'm not going to forget this at all.
I would have to say when I was at Waverly, Coach Knight, I fell and tripped over a girl that was like 6'2", and I blocked her shot, and he like jumped up and screamed at me, like hyping me up because that was a game-winning shot for them.
Okay, I've got to ask you, What's with the crutches?
I hurt my knee and hip really bad. I mean, I was at Jackson game, jumped up for a rebound, came back down, knee popped out, and then my hip's been going on for over a year. They just don't know what's wrong with it. They think I tore something in my hip, so they really don't know until I get my MRIs done.
So how long are you going to be on the crutches?
I have not for sure. I have my MRI done tomorrow, so I should know soon.
Hopefully by tournament time, right?
Right. So when you graduate, what are you going to do when you get out of school?
I'm going to go to Shawnee and become a nurse. That's what I want to do.
Hey, that job is always there.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mike, any questions you want to ask?
Nope, I'm good, Raj.
Okay, I want to say, let's go Red Streaks.